happened the night before. I'm not too sure what they talked about. I'm not too sure what the coaches talked about. I'm not too sure what the coaches were happening. And this is where, this is where I think everyone's getting very, very cautious, because no team should be looked down upon. No team should be underestimated. And in this situation today, everything is up in the air.
Yeah, everything is going to be earned. That's the status of our grand stage now. But talking about this, there is one team that I'm pretty sure upset majority of the Southeast Asian teams who wanted to be here in the grand finals yesterday in survival stage. That is none other than Lion. They roared yesterday. Their name completely glittering and golden rays of sun.
Yes.
They took the stage up on a storm, and now they are here. Yes, the other giants are still here, but they are one to look out for.
Yeah, speaking of Lion, I mean, since we're going to start this first map, look at the numbers. They are the ones on top. They get one booyah out of this, and they total 75 every time, or for all the games that they played in Solara. So I'm really looking forward to this, and we talked about this. This is one of the newest maps in Free Fire right now.
पर मेरा नेट
And
चल ही
there's
नहीं
still a
रहा,
lot of challenges
नेट
being
नहीं चल
encountered
रहा
by the team. So
या फिर
those
मेरा
who
पीसी
really
नहीं लोड ले पा रहा.
study this hard, it has a good chance of grabbing that booyah.
Yeah, I think if anything's up in the air right now, we talked a little bit about what it means today as you go into the game, right? Because again, the drop spots are going to be swapping. We didn't have the teams that made it all the way to grand finals yesterday as well. So yesterday was a battle of just trying to survive. Today is a battle of going up against the giants. After all, those names that made it all the way here today had one day rest, had some time to dissect the rotations, the drops, the strats, and everything else in between. But my question is, can they, I would say, overcome the high and momentum that some of these teams had coming in from yesterday itself from survival stage?
Right now, having the high is going to be Fluxo. We've been seeing from the very beginning.
Oh yeah.
They've been highly in terms of their roaring noise that we've been looking forward to cheering for Fluxo W7M. Right as now, Solara has started off Team Apex Gaming and Lion. They fight it out at Eco Drain.
This is what we're talking about. Lion would be the greatest threat out of India right now, because Team Apex Gaming is facing them in Eco Drain. And well, it's a good thing that KD God does have elevation, does have information. But the only question is who is going to push, because Joker might have a good chance right now, but not
Apex Gaming
to use in those battles.
Here they come right now. Joker waiting in the wings.
Okay, छोटो ने क्लॉक किया. अरे छोटो भी नॉक हो गया. अरे नहीं यार, साहिल भी नॉक हो गया. अरे यार वोवलिन भी.
Wolverine in trouble right now. Games King surrounding him, trying to take him down the pipe, but it's not going to work out. Joker is also on the other end. That's going to be 3 big eliminations. Eco Drain completely drained out of Team Apex Gaming.
But that's one thing, and in spite of all the engagement that's happening, seems like KD God did manage to pull away, and he is going
की फाइट चल रही है TWIS से.
We're also seeing as a UL
Roll knock
has been taken down, but Jack right now trying to defend themselves against Twisted Mind, but you know how twisted they can be. Noor is just ignoring them, and FP5 trying to eliminate.
It's just nasty how these shots are coming through here, because Twisted Mind's losing their players one by one. Bunny comes close, separated from Noor, but the crossfire is too much to deal with. The Bats also will fall next.
Twisted Minds, they tried to go for a challenge, it did not work out. SHUL Esports, we were talking about this, their mentality of just going in for those hits, eliminations, that's all in front of their mind, not who they're challenging. And something similar, Buriram United Esports just ended up getting 4 eliminations, almost about to eliminate a whole squad, but that did not happen. But they also need their title. Husky was mentioning the one title that they need in their capital is
Apex Gaming के प्लेयर सारे रिवाइव हो चुके
हैं, because they have been going for the hub drop for so many times already when it comes to this map, and I was just surprised that someone is really challenging them. But going back to challenge, earlier it was Lion taking down Team Apex Gaming. Now it is Fluxo who's trying to beat them down, and there goes Joker, not really joking around, but let's see if they'll be able to fight back.
This area is so hot right now, because on top of Fluxo, we also have AGL here too. Della barely alive, waiting in the wings, hoping hoping that Fluxo will move away, but they have marked the heck out of him as well. A lot of pressure, a lot of util coming to him, and finally knocked down as well. There we go. Bobs will find him in the end, but AGL wants to challenge this phase.
Oh, here comes a new challenger, AGL right now, and this just looks like a good storyline because everyone is going into
Lion team भाग गई और AGL के साथ fight हो गई.
will go down the drain.
Lion team सारे बंदे
Fluxo,
क्यों हो
they
गए?
want to make sure that they're the ones who are on top of this. They're the ones who pull that key lever and take AGL if possible. But AGL, they're quick on this. They're on their heels, see the slide rails, and decide to get out. They don't want this early engagement. We've been talking about AGL haven't found their title yet. They've been striving for it. They tried to get closer, but right now, it seemed like it was a distraction. He knocks the player, will try to get a confirmation, but right now Fluxo not giving it, but still he will secure Butzin's elimination.
It's nice seeing this. Dio was barely alive right now, managing to go for that reset, and they can just bide their time. Was aware that Fluxo would be able to answer back, and they're looking good. Yeah, Butzin's out, but they're going to be able to bring him back to the game, and there you go, so quickly. The only team right now that is currently down and out, at least only one player left, is Made in Brazil lost. And for the rest of the rotations could come in from a different side here, but I think for Fluxo, finding Dio might be key. Spots him out, sees him, but over on this side here, RRQ did cross paths with Yago and somehow survives.
Okay.
Gets him in there, and Lost wasn't able to survive for as long as he wanted.
You spoke too soon, Cash, and now RQ will be getting that 4 elimination to their side. But there's another one that is just waiting in the shadows. It's Team Falcons right now. And this has been one of the rivalries that has been happening in Southeast Asia. But Team Falcons, you know how their
अभी तक
signature is. They
सेट
want
होने के
to
4 किल हो
go
चुके हैं
they
और
want to get information
एक के
out
अभी
of the
तक
team
हुए
right
नहीं हैं.
now. And even
Epic Gaming के.
RQ might be able to be caught off guard, but they are just waiting. Look at the discipline out of Team Falcons.
Information's gotten. Maal finds the opening. Keroro is done for. That is what RRQ want. A strong start. Nero's plushie being used. P9 trouble. Position revealed. He'll also be taken down. At the pair. And more on fire. He tries to pull up the chrono, but for how long will he survive? Surrounded by 3 players from RRQ. And RRQ gets 7 total eliminations and trouble the reigning club champions.
eliminations.
How is this
जब तो आधा गेम
happening?
हुआ है.
When we saw the Falcons throughout the entirety of this week, they were the ones hunting, they were the ones taking up that space and winning, but now, silence.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he needs silence right now, though he doesn't have the stealth lights to pull away. Does have the Skylar, the Riptide with him, but I'm surprised they didn't use that to at least save their teammates because they were covered in blue walls right there, and he does have an angle take when it comes to the snipe. But I guess priority is to bring back the teammates. Once one goes down, you always go for the vending machine.
The starting always for Falcons has been similar like this. The story, unfortunate for them. But right now, a change in Lions' favor right now. Twisted Minds, we saw them suffering a little because of Buriram United, but now they change and turn the tides. Twisted Minds, this is a team that everybody did not have much expectations on, but they were the ones who made it at the top in Group B. And now, Diamond, the last man, will have to make a quick run, try to go in for a revive. But when we talk about the revive, look at the circle. It's made a revive of a battle as it's moved completely north.
Yeah, this hard shift's got to be crazy. The southern side there, the shift, I would call it the Great Migration, is about to be insane. It's about to be bloody as well. And speaking of bloody, the Perang Serumput about to happen.
Well, let's see. This is a replay from where RRQ did manage to take down a few, or not a lot, of players out of Los. Now, as we look back into RRQ, it's Twisted Mind, and they are challenging as well as Pina, who just got revived. But seems like they are still on no elimination streak.
RRQ have lost ducks. They might have gotten the 8th elimination. Rans is in trouble. Riptide rhythm. Chrono being pulled down. What a shot on the AC-80. Puts Diamond down instantly. And Twisted Minds thought they might be up on the battle because of number disadvantage. And now RRQ is getting closer. Diamond's confirmation comes through. But the boss, he decides that the revive's important rather than an exchange of a battle.
Here we go there. Twisted Minds managing to find a bit more space to work with. Don't want to overstep because RRQ does have a bit more space to work with. They have no clue where the crossfires are coming through here. Sees one shot coming through here. One of his teammates does get picked up by Abe, but they're not done. The knock comes through, and here comes that collapse. Gonna drain down that utility, but nothing really set in stone. Gets one. Twisted Minds getting dropped one by one, but Abe will fall in return. Both teams suffering heavy losses. Wasn't taking into account of the crossfire and the later rotation coming in for Twisted Minds. But Maal answers back. Abe will not be able to be saved here.
That Riptide Rhythm was deadly. If it wasn't for the time turner, they could have fallen already. Let's see though, because Twisted Mind, despite of all the elimination, it's RQ who has the most on the numbers. But who's coming in to join the party? It is Team Lion roaring right now against these two teams.
Della has already found the opening. Diamond's down as well now. Joker gets that confirmation instantly, and whatever Twisted Minds did is all put to rest.
Both teams are left with one, RRQ and Twisted Mind, and that's when they need to move. Because even before that battle ended, the zone is already moved away from them. There's a lot of travesty that might be happening right now because there's still a lot of teams waiting into the next foe.
And speaking about waiting here, Buriram United, as usual, quiet in that early game. But somehow, they've already gotten 5 eliminations here. TAG waiting in the wings. They need to take this fight to be able to get... Sorry, they will take a fight in order to keep Buriram United away from their compound. Not happening quite yet. And now, Wasana with the sprays on top side. Bit of chip damage, but that's not more than that he can do.
Chrono being used by Team Apex Gaming. They will survive this, but there's Jonah. And the shield gun peppering them one after another. Jonah gets a double as well as he puts 2 of the players down. Wasana wants the confirmation, is not letting them go. Along with Jonah, 2 players from Team Apex Gaming are put to rest, and Wasana wants to take this battle even closer.
Well, most people say don't go chasing waterfalls, but Brim Ryan is chasing them away from this area, and now they might be able to get in onto the next phase of Circle. But there's a lot of teams who has been forced into the north right now, and we know that they're very near to the Riders Club, and we'll have to find out though. There's a lot of contention that will be happening, especially for Team Falcons, who uses that as their drop. But going back to Buriram United, the battle's not yet over between them and Team Apex Gaming. Wolven being shot at with a quick scope from Jonah.
And Team Apex Gaming still stuck in the same compound. What does KD God and Shoto do to make it through from here?
At this point, just wait. What can you do? You don't want to take this fight. You want to be able to survive and go for that reset here. But as for Buriram United, are they going to go hunting is the question. Might be. Decides to just move away from the area just for some little bit more time. Good cross pass to the players for Twisted Minds on the top side.
I see now in Buriram United, same strategy that they have been doing for the longest time. Don't go into the next phase of the circle just yet. Just wait into the edge until it collapses. But there's still a lot of problems that we need to face later on. And from what we're seeing for Team Falcons, they're holding their ground quite well. Despite of not getting elimination, they still have that high ground in Riders Club.
Lion, at least for the time being, safe keep. They activated Steffi. The painted refuge will protect them for the time being. But now they have to get closer. Falcon shots, they're not connected as best as they would have wanted, and the start has also not been great. However, an answer back is something that we spoke about. Tag have somehow found something. But Lion, their challenge and their entry, and they find a player from Twisted Minds somewhere in the scarce.
You know what's really crazy looking at Lion right now? They're able to not only take this fight, but even throw bodies as a 4. Evo's in trouble. Ray barely alive right now, taking a lot of damage. But Guacos, and now the lull and the wait. And speaking of lull and wait, Fluxo, their members getting completely swarmed.
Oh, this is a battle that everyone has been waiting for. Buriram United going against Fluxo, but we've seen Fluxo lose 2 of their players, and the jump is on, but the shift of the zone might force them to move away. MT7 as well as G right now just holding their ground, but Jonah using that Moors, a surprise it might be done, and great timing for the combination of Wasana as well as get high for that push and probably the elimination.
There's a counter, Gio for the timing, but doesn't work again. The shield gun coming through, and this time it's going to be get high. And Buriram United Esports, they will be able to put a rest to that aggression. And with that, we also see SATL Esports getting eliminated. A lot of losses, one after another, as Solara has very less space.
Yeah, not a lot of space, and everyone seems to have found a small part of that pie. But the Falcons look at their positioning
यार
on the top
FS
of
Gaming
this
का भी एक ही
building,
बंदा
and
बाकी
we've
है
seen
टेक
how
का
much damage they can do with the snipers, with the long-range weapons, and most importantly, the ones on the bottom side here are going to have to compete for that
Come on,
space.
Shoto.
Meanwhile, for Shoto in trouble, AGL putting that
खाली
pressure
छोटो
onto
बचा
him,
यार
and
छोटो
this
पे लोग
guy
चढ़
has been
जाएंगे
the hero
HCL चल
for
जाएंगे
his team, pulling them out from so many very, very dire situations. But in this situation,
अरे
they can't do that
यार
because it's going to be Buram United steals away the point, and AGAL not a lot of space to work with.
AGL, they have just a bus to protect themselves, but on the other end, Buriram, they have an entire compound. It seems like a farming land for themselves. 15 eliminations. This is game number 1. They're looking unstoppable. Riptide rhythm. They want to bring down AGL. Nothing's working. Flash freeze. Nades being tossed. Riptide rhythm again. AGL might get closer. Doesn't work. Varos is down. Cypher, Nameless, and you're trying to close the distance, but AGL, their numbers have lost 9 eliminations. Again, a player opening found was Sana. Might have been traded off by two. Nameless is doing with the Trojan. Moshi holding it off. And now Wasana also down. Moshi, the only one, and AGL somehow have changed this.
Well, a quick revival for Buriram United might be the saving grace for team of Buriram United. AGL did put up a great fight, but 2 is still at it, and he is going for that 1v2. Will he be able to survive? The answer is no, and they were going for a risky approach, especially in this phase 4 of the circle. That HP or that zone will be damaging their HP, and I don't know what could have been done at that point for AGAL, but Buriram United was just waiting for it. It's just unfortunate that they lost 2 of their players.
So Dinoculars used as well. Gives away the game for so many of these teams, but Brim United not down and out yet. Loud is here, as Guacos will be the next victim. A little angle seen by Rasha wants to be abused. A double swing as well, making sure that no one survives the initial skirmish. And the Lions cannot survive longer. Down and out, 3 teams left.
Thanks to Aim God, EVOS still survived. But the dash coming out from Falcons, that was crazy. Almost ended up putting EVOS to rest.
Now, this is an ending that we haven't seen for a long time. And no full squad in contention. 3 remains, 2v2v2. But we are seeing Moshi. And there have been a lot of comments where Moshi could have been putting that much on the snipe already. But this is a place to really show up.
Look at the last 3 teams. How much do they have in surviving? Just 2 each. It's a 2v2v2. EVOS, Loud, and Buriram United. EVOS are the defending EWC25 champions. Now looking forward to EWC26. Loud, they won the very first trophy for Brazil, and Buriram United won the biggest in the cabinet, that is EWC.
Jonah has been a heavy hitter for this game, but a box falls. Moshi, great shot coming in from the area. But the circle is shifting and everyone is just trying to find that space, but Loud is a little bit quicker to the zone. They have positions, they have the high ground angles, and it gives a lot of question marks for the rest of the teams for their rotations.
Well, as you say, first to the circle, first to the win. Let's see if they'll be able to pull it off. And God, not so much of contention. Even with a inhaler, he might not be able to survive.
Oh!
He did manage to go for a clutch, a 1v2 in this fight. And now he has to deal with 2
Oh, भाई ये क्या था?
Team Loud.
He got help from Loud. That is the reason
भाई तो
Buriram
घोस्ट
United
बम
instantly
वाले
shut
थे
down.
भाई
Like
क्या
you said,
खतरनाक
it is
फाइट
a
किया
1v2. Look at him sneakily walking across, crouching, making shots. Loud have no idea, but BCP has spotted him. Aim God, SVD, can he connect the first? If he can bring it down to 1v1, it's better, but the information delayed. And as long as time passes, it is Loud that will surround him. And we know Nix, he's such a good player.
Hey,
and
1v2
once he
कर
gets
पाएगा
to
EVOS?
CWC, he will instantly put the player down.
He's rushing forward here right now. If he's able to just go for the 1v1, it'll be really good. His shots go wide, but they're crunching it from 2. Different goals! The respect given! And Loud makes sure they secure their first booyah of the day!
Team Loud. Loud Snickers are the loudest to start the Free Fire here at Esports World Cup 26 Paris' grand finals. What a game coming in, and Nix,
भाई हेडफोन
we
तोड़ दिया
knew
उसने
he had this potential. They were waiting to get to the final, started off, and in the very first game for Brazil, they opened with a booyah.
Oh, this is what everyone has been looking forward to. Who's going to get that first booyah? But we also seen a lot of elimination from the other teams who didn't make it this far. Let's take a look at a replay right now. And this is one phenomenal play coming from EVOS. But but it's just unfortunate that the pressure is on, not only on those HP, but also on that zone. On
Phoenix. Tem tiro ali, Phoenix.
Oh no, crazy work coming in from Loud as well. I think one thing's for sure though, we all had our favorites. We saw our favorite players just completely farming it out. But when it matters the most, that final moment, Loud prioritizing positioning over these fights gave them so much extra advantage to just give them not only the booyah, but those extra placement points.
Yeah, they needed it. They wanted a good start. We've been seeing Loud. We even spoke about it, right? In the group they were in, they were very consistent. They ended up getting 2 booyahs to start things off. But Buriram United Esports, unfortunate for them, they had an opportunity. They should have been the ones closing it. Look at them. Without the booyah, they have 30 total points, 22 eliminations. If not for Loud Snickers, if not for Nyx from that far angle, finding a clash and helping aim God out, we would have seen Buriram with the win.
I mean, we've seen this side of Brim from before.
No.
Even in group stage.
तो साथ में first
They
order
managed to get 23, so this is not even close to the record that they have. But I'm really loving this side of BRU. The aggression is really needed, especially first match of the day, because it's not just the booyah that is needed by the team in this early parts. It's more of farming the numbers to get to that 90.
You know what's really insane? I think I said to them, well, it's going to be a bit more quiet from Buriram United early, and it was. But throughout all of that, Jonah was farming so many eliminations. Out of all of that, I believe he had like, what, 13 to 15 eliminations by himself. And for now, who better to break it down for us other than the analyst later? We'll be right back before we go to that.
I moved from a small town to a big town like São Paulo, and they always hugged me, made me part of the family. We started with a little since we are W7M in the past, and now we are Fluxo W7M. Literally hugged me and made me part of the family. I feel that I'm part of everything that's happening, and they gave me the chance to come here, and for real, it's like more family than my family real. Mostly important game on Brazil since they made a chance for everyone first to be here, first to play. Like the owner of Fluxo Nobru was a professional player from nowhere, become the highest, the toppest guys in Brazil, in the world. No, everyone knows Nobru in Free Fire. And I think that the most important thing about games is the feeling that make you feel part of and to give you a chance to prove yourself. Never came to Paris and never came to this side of Europe, and it's incredible. We went to Eiffel Tower in the
चल रही है लोग की
Paris looks like an art piece. Everywhere you look, it looks like an art piece, looks like a movie. So it's very, very beautiful.
Well, let's get loud here for Free Fire. I'm Lace, joined by Conchita, and look, the Brazilian teams are arguably some of the best teams that we have in the competition. today, and they have a lot to try and earn today, taking over the Southeast Asia's team. They really, really want this, and of course, Loud coming out with 33 points and 22 eliminations. Kajito, what an exceptional start for our Brazilian teams.
Yes, of course, but if we're talking about Brazilian teams, isn't it also a surprise to see Lost got sent back really soon to the lobby, and RRQ from Indonesia was the one who got them sent back? I mean, yes, RRQ did drop at Delta Isle, and they had to fight their way through Lost. They managed to get out. I mean, I am pretty proud of RRQ today, even though they didn't get that much points. They had to fight against Falcons, which they managed to edge out. They also had a very intense meeting with Twisted, who almost got them twisted. But all in all, EFOS Divine was also very phenomenal. I mean, that was crazy. The last fight with Aim God as the last man standing, I am just so excited.
I mean, and of course we want to see all these teams do incredibly well, but it looks like Loud is leading the pack at the moment. But of course, we're going to get the game started sooner than later. And let's throw it over to Tash.
ये अपना शायद सेकंड मैच चालू होने वाला
And also Neptune, it's okay, I haven't forgotten you. Now, you know, we are hearing right now that Loud is currently the team that is leading the pack, at least in terms of Booyah, but points-wise though, it's still in favor of Buram United. After all, it is the first map, but showcasing our skills on the second map when everyone's in momentum is going to change.
Yeah, well, definitely it needs to change right now, because from what we're seeing, they're already 1/3 of what is needed right now to be able
Indian
to
team
activate that match point.
well,
But judging
seventh
from where everyone is dropping for the flight path that we
FX
have,
Gaming
and you
9
know for a fact
हो
this
जाएगा
is
cover.
my favorite map. The skew flight
अभी
path,
जो है
short
अभी
skew flight path that we've
अपनी
seen might have
अपनी
forced
fight है
the
ना
team to
FX के
go
साथ हो रही
in
है
for those hard drops. But look at that,
Tag.
Team Fluxo and Team
और
Apex
Asset
Gaming. I
12
think they're going to start it hot on that
ऐसे
zone.
12 तो सेफ उतरी है
Saljad is the closest, and there it is.
चालू हो
Bullets
गई
being rattled. Mini Uzi, but also Scar on hand. Dash from Butson. The
अरे
side
उसका
dodge is
backup आ
the
गया
glue wall being used, but I don't think he has enough resources
अरे
for the very start.
यार
And Butson is quick on it. Gets the very first elimination of our match 2.
केडी ने वापस से रिवाइव दे दिया साहिल
This
को
match point, everybody needs to understand. It's no more about getting to the top of the charts. It's about reaching 90 points, and that's what EVOs want to do, but will be failed because of Cypher. AGL also missed their opportunity just because of how Buriram somehow held themselves, because AGL looked like they were about to shut down Buriram.
Yeah, I mean, the silent AGAL was there, almost getting into it. But now, with that Cypher elimination, they're now ahead of EVOS. But we'll have to see, though, because we still have Ray and Rasia in play. And look at what Pecker coming from Ray. This could be the game changer if in case Do moves up that hill. But knowing Do and knowing the potential of any other sniper in this competition, he will not be going there.
It's going to be very interesting because we've seen so many resets coming through from EVOS this early. I would say around disadvantages have been, I would say, saved so many times from these teams. Regardless, as we look through the area right now, no one's really too actively going for fights. But the southern side, though, very interesting to me.
While we were discussing about how the southern side would be, where teams will be fighting out, Buriram again find one more on EVOS.
ओके अभी टैग
It seems like Buriram
एपेक्स
is
गेमिंग की फाइट होगी आरआरक्यू से
They do not
हो
want to
गई
stop, but so does even
ओ भाई
Tag.
एक HP
Side
का
might have been lost, but now an opportunity for Shoto. Maal spotted, but damage is the only thing that was done. No knock, and good for Shoto is the entire RRQ is still not here. So Tag
अच्छा
is
आरआरक्यू
rallying towards this
अकेला
fight.
बंदा है
Well,
उधर
I'm seeing we have 3 teams on the southern island of Purgatory, and Fire Brigade might need those fire trucks later on because our
ऐसे 12 ने एक finish कर लिया
zone just to make sure that they have limited advantage when they try to go in for a rush on Central, and they are targeting Team Apex Gaming, but Team Apex Gaming knows what they need to be done. Lightning zone is here, just hide out on those rooftops.
And most importantly as well, we also seeing the rotations coming in from the Falcons. And meanwhile, over on this side, Lost currently wanting to catch up in the points that they had missed out earlier. Now Rahone on one side here, tagged onto EVOS players, but Abax from downtown managing to steal the point away. But they're not done quite yet. Being so aware of the positioning where Yago is and the rest, AGL also close by.
Very difficult for MMA loss. They were not only fighting with one team, but AGL, look at Cypher. This might be a distraction because his teammates are close by. But defending a 1v1 is going to be difficult with Yago lost, MRBR lost. They already went out with 0 points in the previous game, and now if they do it, it's going to be even more tougher.
You might be right with the Cypher being the bait, and there goes the ball. First time ever in EWC, we see that knock up with a vehicle, and they only have one left out of MIBR lost, but nothing is lost right now. A full revive has happened.
अरे ऐसे टोल के एक ही बंदा बाकी है रिवाइव दे देगा ने
Aimgod takes a bit of damage here. Barrows bought a bit of time, and throughout all that, Apex has already been stolen away into the lobby. Aimgod tries to go for the reset. Valiant dashes away to safety for the time being. EVOS stuck, rushes forward. HP so very low by Aimgod, but now for Ray.
अरे यार टीम में से एपेक्स गेमिंग एलिमिनेट हो गई
AGL not able to survive.
This is why your skills are important. Electrotherapy protecting them for far so long. That is the reason EVOS couldn't fight back. They had only 2 members and them getting taken down. Thankfully, that's not a full elimination, but there was an elimination that happened. That is Team Apex Gaming and Falcons. Seems like game
और अपनी एक टीम चली गई बाहर
They can come back right
out
now. They are just going in the edge of a circle, still hanging on that south side, and they thought they might be able to find someone on central, but they were a little bit too late to party right now. But from what we're seeing, they are gathering all the loot that they have, and they're just going for the basic gameplay. Silent in the beginning, and then deadly towards mid to end. But the only question though is how they're going to find their way into the next phase of circle. We still have a few moments before it closes in and the second phase shows up, but the battle between AGL and EVOS is not yet done.
EVOS, what is happening? Apex will be able to revive, but look at AGL Cypher. Right to the face with the M590 Valiant dash.
Okay.
And now another conversion.
Release
9
squad
elimination. AGL what they missed out because of Buriram in the previous game. They want to make it happen. 30 points what Buriram pulled off. AGL want to do it. This is what we've been talking. Buriram have earned titles. They are our World Series global champions of 25. Now they want an EWC championship in their name. Falcons, they want to get back to their winning ways that they had in 24. They want another EWC title for themselves and 6 total eliminations.
In this situation as well, the lull, the silence is here, but the middle side of the map is very interesting as Fluxo does manage to hunt down the members of RRQ somewhere there. We see Troll also falling, EVOS as well suffering heavy damage. This map, what looks quiet on this side, is hectic on the rest of the areas.
Well, let's see now, because we are looking at Lost right now, who might be chilling like a villain at this moment, but we are seeing a few players, not only from Team Falcons from the south, but also RQ from the north. So the pinch might happen right now, but again, we are just waiting for the shift of that next phase. And as you see, both of the 3 of the teams are in there right now, and look at the numbers that these players have been bringing in. And we have highlighted already, Buriram United. The number that they can put in the fight, that only shows why Jonah and Moshi is the best players so far in this lobby.
But you see in the mix of it, there's Dew. That was the reason how AGL almost looked like they would survive. Did not still, but now this is game 2. Purgatory, a lot could change, and that's what Falcons also want to. MIBR lost, they want to change their fate from getting out of 0 points to at least something, but it so far doesn't seem to be the case. Even SAQL, they want their points, but Maal 77 says that is going to be an elimination, and right at the riverbank will sweep away SAQL's chances once again.
Well, Maal, the deadly sniper from Indonesia. Now, right now, going solo. Rest of the squad still not found in this map, but I know there is a plan. They are the mastermind into the stealth mode with that. The stealth bites using that more skill. They might be heading in to where this engagement is happening between Loud and MIBR Lost.
General taking a lot of damage right now. Bare Life managing to just survive. The pressure coming in from Loud, this high ground, gives them so much value. But Joker, on the other side, they're managing to pick off here, but Loud hasn't been moved quite yet. The lightning zone does come through. General falls, and now Keroro, the Falcons, decide to join in as well. BZP still hasn't been picked up already. Keroro finding a nice angle to work with, goes a bit wide, finally getting that shot onto Nyx, but the Falcons
Falcons had a second chance. They instantly went for the revive. So there is a lifeline for them. But Loud, they're trapped. Trap was the only savior. He used the M79 to bail it out, but he is certainly surviving at the bottom of the hill. And RRQ now charging in. They will get it on fire. That's an added elimination. But can he hold off? Can Falcons actually make a comeback? They're close by. If he holds off for the time being, then RRQ, they might get surrounded once again.
Now that's one thing that we can depend on Fire. He can go for the distraction while the rest of the team is setting up. There goes On Fire, launch pad right now, but it was Limit who was been taken down by a different squad. AGAL has inserted a coin. He is now ready to be the next challenger in this battle. But from this moment, once the third phase is closing in, we expect the teams to slow down, but I guess they are chasing and hungry for those points.
You want to be able to keep up. Again, started this match 1/3 of the way to match point. You don't want to allow a team to run away that. We talked a little bit about Burak having a quiet start, and this map in particular has been extra for them as well. However, positioning-wise, they look really good right now, taking their time, and it's just open areas in front of them. They don't really have to really fight their way into the zone.
Fighting is the only name of the game today. Everybody has to, because of the match point condition that they have to fulfill if they want to become the champions at the end of the day. Fluxo, not the best start that they have also had here in Purgatory. How do they get out of it? They go back towards the vending machine to recover their players first. A revival point is also close, but they have enough coins and they will get the player back up. 4 all strong together.
Now so far for Fluxo, they do have 3 of those team boosters put up, and one of which would be the out of zone buff. So that's one reason why they can soak outside of that circle. But there's one thing that they need to worry about. The shift has already moved to campsite, and we've seen AGAL already holding on, taking a high ground, and this is deadly, especially in this kind of situation. Same goes for Evos, and Rasia is just waiting for the opportunity. Might be able to pull out that launch pad. A little bit of exchange though. Hands it over to Ray, just in case they need to pull out. They will be able to do it and fly away.
The situation here, the weight is on. I mean, both teams very, very comfortable in their little corners of that map. I'm just waiting for this initiation to happen now. Now look at everyone right now. The Lion plays from Fluxo and Lion later on rotation. Would be interesting to see, but Abe pressuring the members onto the other side here. No one is truly comfortable regardless of whether or not they are in the zone.
RQ is happy they got this spot. Falcons left it and the circle still keeps the position of the containers and they will keep it. AGL, however, they know about this position. Falcons, because they left this position and moved towards the vending machine, they also have an idea. So right now RRQ have to be wary that their enemies in the closest surroundings, and especially that they're out in the open, anybody could target them. But targeting, when we speak about it, Twisted Minds, they did that in Group B and took the top spot. And now what do they do to get those points?
Well, let's see though, because they are very close against a Team Falcons and also trapped from behind, and they get the next phase of the circle, so no one will be moving away from campsite. But for those who are surrounding as well as jumping in across that river, trouble is brewing. Grim United against Fluxo once again, and let's see though who's going to win. The lightning zone has been triggered and no one is moving that much because they don't want to hit by that bolt maker. But from what we've seen from Fluxo, they are just holding their ground, not letting Grim United in. The gatekeep is on.
Yeah, the high ground here is good, but Wasada great to take away that space, and they are going to collapse. Great work from Fluxo to take away that space to keep the rest of Buram United at bay. MT7 just now almost getting knocked down here, but I'm loving the fact that they're so patient in keeping them away. Now Buram United forced to reposition, but meanwhile for Lost, gonna take this fight head on against AGAL.
MIB a loss. So far still no eliminations, but they're close to AGAL, who have the highest in the lobby, 11 in total. Can there be more for AGL, or is it going to be vice versa? MIB a loss, open up with their very first. Damage being done. Valiant dash being used. Rigby with the Bison finds Barros. That is the opening, and they're all stuck inside the RV. This is going to be difficult. Cypher also caught out. Surrounding with the glue walls. General jumping across the board, and Rigby finds another that's nameless. And then the last to answer with that AGL will be put to rest, and MIB a loss. Turn the tides.
Oh, stuck in one trailer when they thought they will be able to go for a pickup, and with one glue wall, they do have the windows open. But speaking of windows open, window is open especially with limit on those knives. And same goes with Twisted Mind. And who is the target? The one and only Wasana, who is just going solo right now. And that's 1 out of 2 remaining players. Make that one or none about 1 remaining players out of Garena United.
Yeah, cannot really move, but Moshi is still around. The question is whether or not he's going to be able to survive all the way till the end. As for Twisted Minds, they have all the idea in the world now to take out Trap, to be able to take away space from the Falcons. Now, it's going to be difficult. You don't know where exactly everyone's going to be. The lack of information keeps the players at bay. And while all of that is happening, Joker had already been knocked down there by Made in Brazil loss.
It might be a loss. They needed this opening, they needed this start, and now they're getting eliminations. But the next best team after AGL going out is going to be Twisted Minds with 10 eliminations. But RRQ, they instantly get put down. What was this by Fluxo? Butson, MT7, all of them together put RRQ out. And now Twisted Minds, they have another challenge with Falcons throwing the melters.
6 teams remaining, 4 full squad in this fight. Twisted Minds still holding on, gatekeeping Team Falcons not to get in. But on the other side, Moshe, the final player from BRU, will be taken down. Now the battle is not yet over. It is MIBR against Fluxo right now. But from what we see, Bunzin is just that aggressive F590 hand, and the rest of the squad is just waiting. They split up on a 2-2.
Fluxo, they need this chance. MIBR lost on the other end. Rigby, the man who was finding the openings, he's been taken down. Giyu is the one, but Glue Wall will protect. They will be able to bring the player back up, but there is MT7. He puts the player general down, and Fluxo are turning this against their own counterparts from the region. Confirmation on Rigby. Rawan and Yago, the last survivors. Bobs is down. This is an opportunity. Butson with a dash. Instantly trying to put 1 player out. But he will get knocked with the max 7. Coming down to a 1v1, and it's MD7. He finds and ends MIBR loss.
And now the collapse happens. They have to shift forward here. Twisted Minds coming through. Loud will be annihilated. And somehow throughout it all, Twisted Minds' patience will be rewarded with a booyah.
Patience truly is a virtue. Though they didn't really rush in against opponents right there, they know the timing that they have to take. Even got a few eliminations from afar. As I always say, aggression from a distance. And this is where they can get all those points. The only question though is it enough?
Yeah, is it enough? I think that's the question everybody's asking themselves. How many points did we acquire? Where did we end up? Especially because in that last fight, right, except for Twisted Minds who know they got the booyah and they have 12 points, everybody else is wondering, is our elimination as well as placement points enough for us to get back towards the top 5? Because I think at the end of game 2, that's what they have to think about.
And it's a good story as well for Twisted Mind right now, because imagine, I'm ending the previous map or starting this current game with only 5 points. So they need that additional 12 points from Booyah as well as any elimination that they managed to pull in that game. But I'm really looking forward to some of the shuffle that will be happening on the leaderboard in a bit, because there's a lot of engagement that we've seen from that match.
We are starting to see, I would say, the consistent teams really just rise to the top, right? But most importantly right now, I'd like to say that despite some teams not being able to come play or at least shoot back in map 1 are starting to rise again in this map.
Mati, posso falar. Agora. Bate no squad. Amassou, caralho.
You can see Loud was happy about it because they again ended up coming in the hashtag too, because that is enough points to keep them at the top. However, Twisted Minds from Thailand, this is a team that, while the other Thailand teams who are in the top have won titles, this is not a team that everybody is eyeing on.
Yep.
But they managed to get the second booyah. This is why today's grand finals, here we were expecting that anything can happen. You cannot count on one team. If you think Buriram is going to get it, no, right now just Twisted Minds did it. Buriram should have had the first booyah, but Loud got it. A lot going on throughout our matches now.
You did mention a second booyah, so technically this is a second booyah of Twisted Mind all throughout the competition. And we rarely see them really on the top 3. 4 out of 12 from when they played in group stage and group B, when they ended up in the top 3. But this is just them switching it up. What I was expecting was just Mind to be just all out aggressive.
Yeah,
they tried to do so in game number 1, but it did fail. So why not change it up?
Yeah, I mean, changing that was always really good as well. Throws the your teammates, not teammates, your other people, other teams in the lobby, off as well. But what I really like to see as well is just really being able to just really take your time. Being really patient is also really good. We have teams that are really, really aggressive and high energy, and somehow they just really just run out of gas in after this.
There's an interview. Let's send it over to Carol.
Hello everyone, Carol Bombshell here. It's a pleasure to be here on stage with you guys. Are you guys enjoying Free Fire? The first 2 match was amazing, but not as amazing that was for this guy over here, Trap, the team captain for Loud team. And of course, you guys had a great start today. Start with a Booyah for sure. It was amazing for you. So how important it is to get off to a strong start in the finals so you can reach the match point. Como é que foi para vocês começarem já com um buiazão aí, né? Já tirar essa pressão aí de dentro. É muito importante para vocês já darem esse primeiro buia?
Com certeza, a confiança que já estava alta vai ainda mais lá em cima. Um buia e um top 2 agora, mesmo com a dificuldade da queda, conseguir segurar o top 2 aí. E é isso, não sei ainda a posição que nós está na tabela, mas estamos muito confiantes.
Awesome. As a Brazilian team has never won AWC before. What would it mean to bring the first AWC Free Fire trophy home to Brazil? O time brasileiro nunca ganhou EWC, isso é certo, a gente já sabe. O que significaria para você, como jogador, e para o time da Loud serem os primeiros campeões do EWC, os primeiros brasileiros campeões do EWC?
Se tudo correr bem, vai ser incrível, né? Porque ninguém ganhou ainda no Brasil. E quando você consegue uma coisa única, é ainda mais satisfatória. E a gente quer muito ser campeão mundial. E ser campeão mundial de uma coisa que ninguém tem vai ser melhor ainda.
Amazing. So basically what he said was, I'm going crazy right now because getting the first Booyah here give us such a great confidence. We get more secure. We can team up even better. We are really happy. But I'm definitely going crazy because I want to know in which position we are in the standings. We know that Brian was in the first after the first match, but right now we want to know in which positions we find ourselves. And of course, being the first Brazilian team to win at EWC26